I think I speak for a lot of us when I say that we miss Stratocasters in John Mayer's hands, and lately I found myself going back and watching just a lot of footage of eras where he would play Stratocasters live, or even just a balance of the Silver Sky and a Strat. Now, the footage we're about to watch together here is from the 2017 World Tour, and I think it really just helps prove that point of there is something special when there's a Strat like the black one or the 64 in John's hands, and the tones that he gets with those compared to the Silver Sky I think are just truly unique and special. That was just a very short clip of the outro solo of Slow Dancing in a Burning Room, and while that's all the footage we have, I think that clip really does kind of prove the point that while the 2017 World Tour isn't a tour that's overly fondly looked at in terms of John's tone over the years, the sound he was getting, and especially how clearly you can hear his guitar out of that clip, is truly special and just makes me really miss even more hearing a Stratocaster in John's hands. Now, I'm not saying John gets bad tone with the Silver Skies at all. I love the Silver Skies. I've owned multiple of them over the years, but there's just something about a guitar like the 64 Strat, the black one, even the Gold Leaf. There's just something special to seeing those guitars and the different tonal characteristics each one brings to the stage and to different songs that John performs with them. When it's a Silver Sky every night and the exact same Silver Sky for the entire night, you're not getting that variation in the different characteristics of those guitars shining in the songs. You're just hearing the same guitar over and over again, and I get it, the guitar is one small part of that equation, but still, for a lot of us, I think that's one thing that's been missing on the previous tours that we're hoping to see in the future. Because John himself even said that the Silver Sky is meant to coexist with Fender Stratocasters, and I'd love to see, ideally, maybe the next main tour that John actually does, you see guitars like the black one and the 64 come out for some of the older songs, like from the Born and Raised album, Paradise Valley albums, Continuum, Battle Studies, and then the Silver Sky takes on a lot of the tones for albums like Sob Rock, The Search for Everything, and what next album he's going to be touring in support of. I think a healthy balance of the two eventually could be something really cool where we're getting the tones from multiple instruments a night, which we used to see quite often from John. Almost every song he'd switch out and use a different guitar. But now it's essentially just Silver Sky all night. And I do believe we have hope that Strats will actually return to John's hands at some point. During the trio show in early 2023, we saw him perform with the Monterey Stratocaster, and he almost used the black one for Who Did You Think I Was, but unfortunately he ended up going with the Silver Sky, and it just didn't sound quite the same. And I'm sure some of you guys are thinking, well, his hands are always the same. And yeah, that's true. His hands make everything sound like John Mayer in terms of his phrasing and his feel and his touch. But one variable that does change is the guitars, and you can't deny that the different guitars do bring something different to his sound than just using the exact same Silver Sky all the time. So Strats, I feel like, are slowly making a return based on what we saw from the John Mayer Trio show, but I don't think we're quite there yet. And when I stumbled upon this footage, I just had to share it with you all, just based on, I think, too, where the person was standing when they filmed it, getting absolutely blasted by the amps, and of course that 64 Strat. Even though the 2017 World Tour isn't quite anything to write home about, the tone out of that clip with the 64 Strat I thought was still one hell of a sound, and just makes me again miss Strats in John's hands. Hopefully one day we get that balance where you get Strats and Silver Skies equally, or a, 60-40 split depending on the set list and the night. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you on the next one.
Anyway, go ahead and click the subscribe button if you like what you see.